Joyce just went to the bathroom.
We are
I pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Adequate notice of this meeting to be held on December 10th, 2019 at 7 p.m. in Edison Township Council chamber. Sorry, I will correct it. It's on the third floor because election is going on right now. Voting is going on there. Has been provided by publication in the Home News Tribute, the Star Legend, the Criterion, Sentinel, Tap into Edison, and to the municipal clerk of Edison Township and WCTC Radio and Cable Vision of Raritan Valley. Call to order. Open public meeting statement. Okay. Approval of minutes. Next is the approval of minutes. Anyone have any question? It was sent in the email, so you may not find in your folder, but it was sent earlier in the email. So if you guys have any question or concern, let me know. Any question? No? So motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thanks, it's approved. We will go to the reports, financial report. Please go through the report. Trustee account report is the first one. Anyone has any question?
Yes, where is the October account? We didn't have an October meeting. Or we should have two, basically we should have two reports here, because we did not have an October meeting, there's only one.
We had the November meeting.
Oh, wait, we missed the
This is
September meeting, I
December.
apologize, I
Yeah.
apologize.
The end of the year already.
Yeah.
You're right,
Yeah.
I apologize.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, please go through. If anyone has any question, please let us know. We don't need one for this round.
You didn't approve it, right?
Hmm?
Yep.
Okay, if no one has any question, motion to approve. Trustees account report.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It's approved. Approval of bill listing. You have the bill listing there. Please go through. And if you have any question, please let us know. Anyone has any question?
Yes, I actually do. Why is Jane Jang being reimbursed for $64 for mileage? That's an awful lot of mileage.
That's not for 1 month. I usually do in 2 months sometimes. This reimburse is not for 1 month reimburse. I did that usually by 2 months. And I go to some directors meeting, a training workshop. This is one for example, sometimes it's far, it's in Matawang, and sometimes it's somewhere else, the other libraries. I don't know exactly how they calculate, but I just report my mileage.
So I have one more question regarding this unique construction. So that's for the level floor at North Edison
That's for the
Library?
floor in
So that work
North.
is done?
Yeah, it's done. It's done, totally finished.
Okay, thank you.
The unique construction level floor at North Edison, it's supposed to be paid by the township, I believe, right? Marina or councilman, can you please make a comment?
I'm sorry, I was checking.
Yeah, there is $3,300. It's on, I don't know what the number it is, but unique construction, level floor at North Edison. It is an infrastructure thing and building owned by the township. So why the library is paying this?
The township hasn't had an agreement, the council hasn't approved of any funds being used towards the library in terms of construction. We've met, but there's no funds that we've approved or allocated in terms of construction spending. That would be a conversation. We would have to have an approval from here sent to the council. We would have to actually vote on it.
Okay. So, in case if we discuss with you guys, we may get the refund for this?
I wouldn't say that.
I would
Okay.
say it's going forward, if
Okay,
you made a
going
request for
forward,
2020.
For the next year, yeah,
Mhm.
2020, okay. Thank you.
I do have one more question. I see, so 05561 is unique construction level floor. 05585 is, 69 is GA Flooring Company Co. Corp. Floor leveling at North Edison. That comes to about $9,000. Why were there two different companies?
They do different part of it. One is to remove the floor, and the other one is to put the material, remove the material. The other one is do the material. So there's two different jobs. So they have to be done by two different companies. And it's all recommended by the township, by John recommended, so he knows better for me for this. If you need the more details about what they do for each company, I can give you the detail later.
Yeah, I can tell you that Unique was the company that put the rebar in and drilled the holes so that they could stabilize the floor. And then the other company, GA Flooring Company Corporation, was the company that came in and actually shaved down that
Mounted, yeah,
hump in the floor.
mounted.
Those pillars and all those things, right? They wanted to put the pillars and all. I think that's what they have done. Any other questions from anyone? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? It's approved. Thank you. We'll go to the director's report.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Could I just say something?
Sure, please go ahead.
Thank you. All right. I move the introduction of a resolution, so that we do this publicly. I move the introduction of a resolution terminating the executive director, terminating the
I'm
board
sorry,
of
I'm
council.
sorry. It is
Shane
not a part
Schaefer.
of the agenda. If anything is not part of the agenda, we are not going to discuss today.
That's not true, you can raise it from the
I
floor.
can raise something.
You can raise during the announcement period on the 5th,
No,
Not-
that's
not
not
in the
where it
middle.
is. You
No, I
can
can
raise
raise
it
it
from the
now.
floor.
Let me ask you this, if the topic is the termination of a potential employee, I'd say we would have to move to go into we'd have to go into closed session as there was no proper rights notice.
We don't have to.
You
If
don't
you
have
do it in
to.
public, you do not have to write.
See, as per our attorney, what we discussed, and there were a lot of emails gone, any employee's personal discussions, we should not be doing in a public.
No,
That's
you
my
can,
understanding.
excuse me, you can do it in public.
We can.
That precludes you from
had to
having to
first-
rise.
You had to
You have to
first
rise it
discuss
first.
in the closed session within the group, and then. you
Only
had
the
to come.
employees can consent to have it publicly,
I know we're gonna have a
to have it publicly
disagreement
discussed.
on labor law, I'm just,
They have the law. So we have an attorney over here, so I guess, you know.
I've
we'll
already
go with
stated
the
what
attorney's
the
judgment.
position is, so
That's fine.
I'd at least, my position is any attempt to move on that topic would be legally invalid.
Okay, so
Well,
having
have
said
your
that,
opinion.
So we cannot raise a resolution. I believe that we can. I'm just introducing a resolution.
I mean, I think the attorney bring a point, right? I mean, you can't do that kind of resolution because, it's legally, it's
There-
out of the procedure, right?
There was an attempt to Rice that we believe was legally invalid, the actual attempt to Rice.
The rice was done as a courtesy, it did not have to be done legally.
Yeah,
The
we
law
had,
stayed in New Jersey.
yeah, I would like to request everyone for
so
best of
here's the thing, we can argue about this, but we have to go with the better judgment of the board attorney.
No.
No, you
Because
actually
that's
have to,
the
you
only
actually have
reason
to
we
go with the
have
vote of
them.
the board. You actually
I'm
have to
sorry?
go with the vote of the board.
Yeah, but at the end
So
of the day,
if-
even
if-
if the board votes to do
If-
something illegal,
If you
we
would let her
cannot just get
finish,
them do
and
it.
she reads it out, and there's a second on this, we can procedurally move forward. You have the right to your opinion.
But if the
No,
word
it is-
termination,
It's not gonna be
you're
legally
Procedurally, you cannot, you
you're
cannot
going
be
on the
legally
line
valid.
of a sunshine law violation, is what I'm saying. And you could be sued for this.
That's fine.
Sunshine law.
Fine.
Well, I'm
Open
still
Public
going
Meetings
to-
Act, colloquially known as the Sunshine Law, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I
let's-
move the introduction of a resolution
But you
terminating
cannot
the
do that.
executive.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
cannot do that,
that's
that's,
what
we
we
will
said.
move on to director's report.
Terminating the board's
cannot- you
counsel,
cannot
Shane
do that.
Schaefer, and eliminating the position of chief of staffing.
And I second.
And the resolution
It's not going to be
is,
legally valid.
I mean,
You have-
that's-
in order
what
to
do we have
discuss the
discussed?
personnel.
Why we are making this when, which is not, our attorney is saying that it is not legal, why we are discussing this at
well, the
this time?
reason we need to discuss it publicly is because when we tried to discuss it in closed session last meeting, that you and some of the other board members left the meeting, we still had a quorum, but we did not take any action at all. And
Because that's by,
Right,
because
but
that's
you-
by
in
law.
order to go back-
Without a rights notice,
sorry.
you
In-
cannot
Without the
discuss
rights
that in
notice,
private
you cannot even
section.
discuss, right? So,
That's
yeah.
my interpretation. If
Yeah.
there was a proper, if the employees in question were properly Rice noticed, there'd be an argument that the move could happen into closed session. However, that's not the case.
It depends on, I
Yes,
mean,
so
the
legally-
only
legally you
discussion
cannot
that
do
whether
that.
you can
Still have
have
the
this.
So
resolution.
legally, you cannot do
Right.
that, so we can go on and on about it, but legally, we cannot do that, so.
And we'll see what happens.
No, you cannot do that legally, so.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
No.
We have a board
done
attorney,
it in the
and
past.
unless,
We have done it in the
We've done
past.
resolutions in the
So-
past.
It's a personnel issue. You have to raise the person that you're going to discuss.
Board
That's
of Ed.
a
That's if
by
you
law.
do,
So that
that's
is by
if
law,
you, excuse me,
and-
that's if you do it in executive session. This is being done in open session. We have labor attorneys also for the township who have said that this is
no,
proper.
no, I completely agree.
I understand you
We have-
disagree, but
We have a lot of attorneys,
think we
but
should move
right
forward.
now, we have to go with the
Our
advice of the
attorney.
But we
attorney of the
don't.
board.
I'll defer to
We
the
do.
judgment of the president
We
as the
do.
presiding
the
officer
reason
as
we
to
have
where he
attorney.
wants to move on the agenda.
Yeah.
We'll go with the agenda, what we have today, and we'll discuss.
But I
next
do
week.
introduce it.
She's already
We'll go with the
introduced the
director's report.
resolution.
Director's report, that's it.
All right,
Move forward
whereas
with
the
that, so-
Township
Yeah.
of Edison has established a free public
I mean, I-
library
we
operated
already-
by a board of trustees. Whereas the board of trustees desires to terminate certain positions reporting to the board of trustees, as well as certain professional
No,
That we
services that
have
serve on
discussed,
behalf of the board
I
of
don't know why you're
trustees.
continuing on this one.
Whereas
I mean,
board
whether
of
it's legally
trustees, excuse me, I do have the
acceptable
floor.
or not, I mean,
Because
we'll
you-
have to
You
decide
Desires
to
to
that one
keep
first, before we
interrupting
can proceed
Executive
with this
director
one, right?
effective
So-
immediately.
So this-
Whereas
this
the
is
board of
not helping,
trustees
yeah.
desires to terminate
I mean,
its counsel, Shane Schaefer, effective immediately. And whereas the board of trustees desires to eliminate the position of chief of staffing, effective immediately. Now therefore, be it resolved by the board of
This
trustees.
is not going to be
of the
legally
Yeah, I
valid.
mean,
Why
that's-
we're continuing with
the
this?
question is that
I
now
would ask for.
Excuse me, everybody in
report
here,
right
there
now.
is no order.
Listen,
People
Yes,
are
because
talking,
you are not following the
excuse me, please.
So-
Have some decorum.
The
Okay,
alphabet-
whether
The
you.
board president was
Excuse me.
talking.
I am telling
And you guys
Excuse
keep
me,
interrupting.
The board president.
See, as a.
The board president
as a
has
board pres-
control.
No,
president-
everybody, you don't have
I'm
control,
telling you,
everybody's
I'm telling you,
speaking.
madam.
Yes, he does.
As a board president, I'm saying, we had to follow our agenda, which was approved by me, and we will continue with that. If you will insert something in between, you can come during the announcement time, and whatever you want, or in the closed session.
The motion is already on
We
the
have
floor.
consulted with our attorney, he said everything. we are unnecessarily
on the
wasting
floor,
people's
Isaac. We
time.
have to
And
act on it.
also we are showing them that we are not the matured people as a board members.
And-
Which is not good.
Excuse me, you showed them you weren't
All
mature
I
last
wanna
week when you
interject
walked
with
out.
Yes,
is simple
please.
decorum. Listen, all I want to interject with right now is simple decorum. The fact of the matter is that this is not working, all right? I ask every single person here to, one, be respectful of each and every single person. Anytime there's a motion on the floor, well, the first thing that I want to comment on is I disagree with our township attorney all the time. I don't have to follow his advice. All right? It's your decision as a board member, regardless of what is happening right now, you don't have to listen to the Board of Attorney, period. The second thing is, when there's a motion on the floor, there's a certain process to either entertain it or not with a second. Those rules are different from the council rules, but in terms of parliamentary procedure and how to conduct yourself,
So you're saying this what they're trying to do is against the council rules too?
no. What I'm saying is that
You just said that.
the rules that apply to the governing body of the council do not directly apply or correlate to the same rules as the library board, because it is different. The library board goes based off of the state statutes of the library board, the state. In either scenario, the attorney, and Ms. Pang, I'm sure you also know this, the Board of Education also, no one, in no board and no governing body has to be listening to what the attorney says. That being said,
So you're saying that if the board wants to do something illegal against the advice of the board attorney, the board can just go ahead and do something illegal?
yes, you as
As a board can do
trustee-
something illegal, or
you
should
as
be
a
encouraged to
trustee
do something
have
illegal?
the right, you as a trustee have the right to agree or disagree with your counsel. That is up to whatever
Yeah,
is
but
going on
that
right
doesn't
now.
mean we can break a law.
Okay, let me
Okay,
just
if this is,
explain
we're not
one-
talking about agreeing, I can disagree with the council as much as I want, as long as I'm not going and breaking a law.
Okay,
Okay,
let me
I've
just.
Right,
I've served
so
on more
against-
boards than I think
against-
everyone here combined right now. I'm telling you that.
No,
whether
I
it's on
have
the
no
zoning
argument
board, fair
with
and-
anybody's qualifications over here.
Okay.
Right now, the question is, are we following the advice of the board attorney who's right here right now
You can
and
debate-
telling us
yeah.
what is going on,
Okay.
right? So he's advising us right now legally what we can do and what we cannot do.
All right, my
Okay, so
recommendation
having
would be
said that,
to-
having said that,
Yeah.
okay, are you advising us to go against the advice of our attorney and break the law?
I am not advising you trustees to do anything, yes or no. But I'm saying to say that you have to listen to them is, one, not true. Two, I'm asking for decorum by each of you speaking individually.
I'm not saying we have to
That's
listen
all.
to the board attorney, I'm saying we have to obey the law.
Okay?
Right now,
Okay,
who's
that is the
expert
thing.
here to say what's the law? I believe
Why
the
have you
attorney
appointed
is.
attorney?
So that's why
Because
we're
we
believing
don't know-
in his
Okay,
choice.
so that's your opinion.
I'm not saying we have
You
to
said
follow
it.
his advice.
I think that in order to have decorum and move on like a functioning board, everyone should state their opinion. Just take a turn.
No, we can
We
have
agree
all
with
the
that, but-
opinions, but at the end of the day, it's a legal matter, and his will count. It'll override
No,
everybody's
it doesn't.
opinion.
It doesn't work like that.
I agree,
Obviously it does,
everyone-
it's not a majority, it's a question of
Because
law.
It has
if there
to
is
be
a
by-
lawsuit,
by the
if
law,
there's a
right?
lawsuit, right, so, and all the boards that I've been on, if there's a lawsuit, you can,
The question is not about the lawsuit, even in the council, right? Nobody goes against the advice of their legal.
That's not true.
At the
That's
point.
not true.
You can disagree with him, but you do not break a law when he says that that is not legal. Right now, who can advise us the most on the legality
That
of
is
what we are
your
trying to
decision
do?
as a trustee
And that
to
is the
make.
that's the lawyer. That's the
That-
reason we have him here.
No, no, it's
Okay?
not.
That's
That
not the
is
reason
your
we have,
decision as a
that's not the reason the
trustee.
board has a lawyer?
as a trustee, it is your decision to either.
To break the
abide-
law?
No, you're not
That's what we are
listening.
doing.
No,
He's
you're
saying
not.
that it is against the law, and that's
He
what
is
we're
your
exactly
counsel.
doing.
He is your counsel. He
He's our
provides you
legal
guidance.
counsel,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay?
And exactly
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we're
yeah.
doing. He's a legal counsel.
And he can be wrong. There are plenty of times.
I completely
Yeah, he
agree,
could
but
be
at
wrong,
this point,
but I can't
if
trust
he-
anybody
if
else
he's
more than
wrong, we
him,
can
yeah.
go back in January's meeting and address it. Okay, but the
You
question
can-
is, right now, he is the legal counsel, and what he says goes.
That
That's
is where
it.
I'm disagreeing with you.
That's not
No, you
true.
can
I'm
disagree,
saying
but that is
you
still,
should
that is
follow
still the
For
law.
the purpose of simple
Otherwise, why
decorum,
would we have a legal attorney
you
to advise
don't
us?
have to follow the advice of your legal counsel.
I mean,
No,
As
no,
a
we don't have
trustee,
to
you
do a lot
not.
of things, Councilman. We don't have to do a lot of things, but still, at the end of the day, if we have an attorney, we have to follow his legal advice so we don't end up breaking any laws. If you feel that his advice is not right, we can always revisit this in January. Not
Okay,
much is
so-
going to change there. So in Jan, we go
We've
back, we
already voted
revisit
like
that.
12 laws.
Okay, and we can address it in
We've
Jan.
already voted 12 laws.
But right now, I don't see any reason why we should go against the legal advice of our council.
Okay,
Well,
that's your opinion, and your
We may not
fiduciary.
have, we may not
That-
go
that's-
against it. Each individual trustee will have an opinion and a decision. Right now, there is a motion on the floor. Our
Sir, the question-
trustee is in the process of reading a resolution. Let her finish, and then everyone can make an
But the
individual
question is,
choice.
can
honestly-
she
of
do
what
that?
to
That
do.
is, can she do that? That is where
Yes,
we
she
are
can.
going.
Yes.
And you
she
can
do that?
also
And that-
make a
that is-
counter
You
resolution.
cannot
That is the
because
thing,
it's a
that is
personnel
not-
You
issue.
did the same
It's a-
thing when
no.
Ari changed shape a
Here's
year
the
and a half
thing,
ago.
here's the thing, at that time, we didn't have a legal counsel.
Did you forget?
Yes, we
Right, we did not have a legal counsel, and he would have
Yes, we
advised
did.
us right, okay?
Please.
We're going
So-
to finish.
I mean,
let- let's
No,
just
there
finish.
will
There's a motion on the
not
table,
happen
and
again.
we will take
No.
a vote.
There is no way
Which
you
is
can
the
go
proper
against
way
the
a board
advice of the legal
behaves.
counsel.
Again,
Okay.
you're factually incorrect, because he is your guidance. You don't have to follow that. You are allowed to make.
So
a
you are
counter-
saying that you should not follow if he says you're breaking the law, we should go ahead and do that?
That is your fiduciary, each of you have a fiduciary responsibility to the library, to the trustee, and to the whole board and the township. The decisions that you make after that point, once you have been sworn into your current positions right now, is up to you. You can decide whether you want to listen to him or not. You are also allowed to make a counter resolution. Do it if you want.
No, it's not about
That's
resolution.
not about,
It's about the sunshine law, right? We all know that this rights notice was not correctly served. We cannot discuss that, discuss
So we
personnel
won't
issues.
discuss it
That's the
in
reason.
closed
I
session.
just
We won't
propose
discuss
something?
it in closed session.
No, it's not, before the rights notice is sent, you cannot make a decision on personnel issue.
Would it make sense to just get through the regular business and then revisit
No.
this?
Yeah, in January we can do that.
We have put the resolution on the floor. We're in the
No.
middle of it.
No.
We're not moving on.
I-
Now therefore be
You
it
can Google
resolved
the
by
law
the Board of
right now and-
Trustees of the Edison Township Public Library.
I mean,
you cannot do that, you cannot
do
be
that.
talking about that, because it's illegal, so we can keep on talking about this.
Yeah.
as long as we want. But you have to
The
follow
Board
the
of
legal advice of the
Trustees hereby
council, Pat.
terminates its executive director.
Pat, you cannot just keep
counsel,
on
and
talking
chief of
like that,
staff
because that's not
effective
legal.
immediately.
You are breaking laws right now, and we are just going on and on about that, something that is not even there.
Within the
So-
limit of the law.
See, as a president, I'm not allowing this, whatever you are doing.
So,
That's it.
Actually,
Okay, so
I'll second the motion on the floor.
No motion. Okay, we'll go with the director's report. Please, director,
Okay, no,
start
we have a
speaking.
motion.
Wait, we have a
That's
motion
been
on the
seconded.
floor. We have a motion on the floor.
We now need to take a vote.
Okay.
Following Robert,
We
take a
move the
vote.
adoption of the resolution
It's a-
terminating
All
the
right,
legal
so
director,
we're going on
eliminating
and
the
on about
board
that,
counsel,
nothing
change
is
chamber, and
going on.
eliminating the
Okay.
position of chief of staffing.
No,
The vote is invalid. It's
I
going to be
second.
invalid because
second
it's
that.
no,
it's
we-
a personnel
Roll
issue without
call.
a rights notice.
I mean, there is, we
E-
want to.
eventually
it's
whether
gonna be-
this resolution is allowed by the law.
All this was
We don't want
done
to,
last-
the
all this was
basic question is, we don't want to break the law.
Remember?
We're not breaking the law.
We're not.
We have consulted with a labor attorney, we are not breaking the law.
We are now up for a vote.
Okay, if you're gonna go ahead,
Which
if you're
legal
gonna,
attorney?
if you're gonna just go ahead and do whatever, no, here's the thing.
bring
If
labor
you're just gonna
attorney
go ahead and do whatever,
in January meeting.
here's the thing, president has a right to
No.
dissolve any meeting, dissolve the meeting right now.
Okay, we will
If
dissolve
the
the
meeting is dissolved, he has the right to dissolve the meeting.
dissolve the meeting.
If the president has the right to dissolve the meeting, any given meeting, okay?
We have bylaw, as per bylaw, I can dissolve the meeting.
This is absolutely not something that is acceptable, because.
But you are not following the law.
You don't wanna follow the law.
If you are not following the law, you tell me.
Okay, if you
I'm
don't
not
wanna
gonna
follow the law,
be part
I don't wanna be
illegal
part of
action.
anything illegal. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna be part of anything that's illegal.
You can
That's
go
not how
ahead,
it's
bye.
supposed to work. You have to follow
night.
the law. As a legal,
Thank you.
counsel
You're
over
breaking
here,
the law and way
you
the
have to
laws
follow the
in
council's advice.
Thank you.
Okay?
This isn't just.
Then there's
Good night.
illegal things
Good
happening,
night.
then
Good
you cannot
night.
be part of that. So.
Good night.
This doesn't look good for me.
No,
We're very sorry.
no.
Think about why Sarah left.
Okay.
She didn't leave because
Well, she's not
she
here
got a
anymore.
different, she got a better position. She's not with our
She
firm.
went better.
If you must know the truth.
Okay, all right, so,
As Vice President, Joyce, you're it.
okay, I guess I'm moving to the president's spot now. I thought I would have cake and stuff since it's my last time here at all. So, now,
Roll call on the motion.
No.
no, would you like to read the motion again, or?
You have to
Yeah.
read the second.
Excuse me, at this particular time, can you, sir, can you make sure that they keep the noise down out in the hallway? Thank you, sir. Okay. Now you may read your motion with professional people. Now you may move your, the motion.
I'll reread the resolution.
Okay.
Whereas the Township of Edison has established a free public library operated by a Board of Trustees. Whereas the Board of Trustees desires to terminate certain positions reporting to the Board of Trustees, as well as certain professional services that serve on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Whereas Board of Trustees desires to terminate the executive director effective immediately. Whereas the Board of Trustees desires to terminate its counsel, Shane Schaefer, effective immediately. And whereas the Board of Trustees desires to eliminate the position of Chief of Staffing, effective immediately. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Edison Township Public Library, the aforementioned recitals are incorporated herein as though fully set forth at length. The Board of Trustees hereby terminates its executive director, counsel, and chief of staffing effective immediately. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
I move to adopt, I move the adoption of a resolution terminating the executive director, terminating the board's counsel, Shane Schaefer, and eliminating the position of chief of staffing.
I second.
At this time, I will call a roll call and state whatever, starting off with,
Yes, I agree.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
yes. That's 5 yeses, so all 3 positions are now abolished. So now we may go on with the rest of the meeting. Okay.
There's no meeting.
Stated for everyone, I'm now acting in the capacity of a president because the president no longer sits here. Okay. All right, everybody read over there, the budget report?
Question, was the resolution eliminated those 3 positions?
Yes.
No.
2 position we
No,
have.
no, no.
And
Eliminating
the
one
law
position. One
form.
position.
Can you,
A law form.
can you repeat what
The resolution, to be clear, eliminated the position of chief of staffing, eliminated the library.
Terminated the
Terminated
counsel.
the
Here.
employment of the library director
Here.
and terminated the employment of the law firm.
So, hold on, I just want to read it.
Can I say something now? Can I
When we
say
get to public
something?
comment,
When we get
you
to public
absolutely
comment.
may.
Okay,
I'll sit over there, wait for the public comments.
okay, thank you. Trustee, okay, we don't have to approve that. So the trustee committee report, the trustee policy committee.
The policy committee, now I do have to report that we have been working on policy. There was some discussion about tutoring policy. I know David had expressed concern that we did not need a tutoring policy back when it was shared with the board. But I have checked with other public libraries, and they do have a tutoring policy. So I do think that that should be introduced at the next meeting. Now, we were almost ready to do a collection development policy, but I attended a conference and just returned today, And one of the sessions that I attended was on selection and reconsideration policy toolkit.
Oh, good.
Put together by the American Library Association. So I really think, since I just got this, we need to use this as our guide. So hopefully there will be something for the January meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. This must be the Bookmobile Committee?
Okay, well, that would be me. I had some email issues, and it had gone to the LMXAC, and I didn't see the information that Karen Spitzmiller had, Mary Ellen Spitzmiller had sent me, but I did receive it, and there's some very good information regarding the larger bookmobiles and what vendors actually do those. So we're going to be pursuing that shortly. A lot of good information, so thank you.
A lot of information. I gathered information when I was at Atlantic City at the League of Municipalities, and there's a place right here in New Jersey. I don't have the paper with me today. It's a place here in New Jersey that I'll give you the information that you can go and you can talk to the guy and he can get what you want, because I seen it as getting two like fat mini buses, one to serve the north side and one to serve the south side, so that it would be easier to get CDL drivers for that than the gigantic one, you know, going up and down the streets and everything. That, I mean, but that's up to them to
We're
decide.
going to be looking into both of it, and she gave
Okay.
me some good information about someone out of New Jersey, out of Thoroughfare, New Jersey.
All right, I have one for the guy in New Jersey. He can't wait to see you guys. I told him that you guys were coming, so I was doing homework while I was in Atlantic City, because I was thinking about the people and how they like the bookmobile. Okay, the Facilities Committee.
All right, on November 19th, we started with North Edison, because North Edison is the only single-level library that we have, and met with Doug Pope from CAD Associates, who does space planning, because one of the things that has been discussed in the past, that before we make any decisions to replace carpeting, to paint, to buy new furniture, we really need to have an overall plan of what is needed. We can't just decide to buy carpeting, you know, next week and then have to redo things. We have to have an overall plan. So this particular company does do space planning. They were recommended by the director at Woodbridge Public Library, and they have done work at other public libraries. So the meeting was excellent. We met with the branch head, Timur Davis, and Robbie from the Facilities Committee. And I am just waiting. I spoke with Mr. Polk on Friday, and because of the holiday, then he said he would have a report to give to the full Facilities Committee as soon as possible. But I think we're moving in the right direction.
Thank you very much. Okay, that RFID technology proposal, we're putting that on hold?
Yes.
While
Right, the only
finish
thing
building
that
this?
I do want to mention, the only thing I want to mention is I did say at the last meeting that RFID technology is something that we really want to explore. I did visit Princeton Public Library, where they have RFID technology, and they've had it for a few years now. And after speaking with them, I think we need to do a little bit more research, whether it's something that is it something that we need at all three locations? Is it something that we need to, we need to plan a little bit better. I don't, for the circulation that we have at Clara Barton, it's possible that we don't need to do it there initially. We might decide to do it only at first at Maine or first at North Edison, wherever circulation is the highest.
Okay. All right, new cleaning proposal, company approval?
That was Jane, we don't have that.
Okay. Anybody have the information on that?
I do. We got the bid summary sheet, and
This is it?
yeah. So, it was public bid, nobody got rejected, so you award to the lowest responsible bidder, yeah.
Did we have bid proposals for snow removal this year?
I did not,
You
I
didn't
did
see
not
any?
see it.
I didn't see any estimates come by, you know. the,
Okay, I can talk to purchasing in the morning.
we never voted on
We didn't vote on anybody to do the snow removal, and I know the guy who did it last year wanted to, at least submit a bid. I know they didn't quite get along with everyone, but, you know, it doesn't mean he can't submit a bid.
Yeah, anybody's free to do that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we didn't even see any estimates come by, or quotes.
My name is Heidi Stokar, I'm the administrative assistant at the library. There were snow proponent bids, we had 3, and.
Sorry, I can't hear anything. Either we.
Oh, you gotta stand, excuse me, could you come up to the podium, please?
We gotta vote to award to these people.
My name is Heidi Stokar, I'm the administrative assistant at the library. Just for your information purposes, we did put out bid proposals for snow removal. We got 3 proposals, and we accepted again, I don't know the exact details, but one proposal was the lowest and it was signed.
Do you know how much it was for approximately?
I don't know, I don't have
Okay,
it.
now, are you saying you did it as a bid proposal, it didn't go through a town, or was it just quotes and estimates that were?
It was quotes and estimates because it wasn't at the bid threshold. It
Okay,
wasn't-
so it was under
the
17.5.
amount is,
But it's still supposed to be approved by the board,
Yes.
but it was not approved.
It never
was not
approved by the
brought to
board, we know,
for a
yeah.
meeting.
I'm just telling you.
Thank,
I
yeah, we
understand.
thank you, because a lot of stuff doesn't come to us.
Would you-
This information has to come before the board, that we're responsible for the money.
Okay.
Would you be able to just send that over to?
Sure, thank you.
I don't know logistically how things are gonna work right now, but if you can send it over, just so we get the 3 bids, not that. Maureen, were you aware of any bid that was sent out or request?
For the snow?
Yeah.
Absolutely
Okay.
not, no.
It was through the library.
No, that's, I understand, but we have to take action on the cleaning company.
Okay.
Do you have a copy of it?
You have the proposals, you
Right
can
here.
have mine.
Right there. It's in the,
Yeah.
Last thing.
So the lowest, if I'm reading this correctly, the lowest is the first one, quality
Mhm.
facility.
Yep.
Okay, so I move that we,
For how long a period of time?
if we do it for a year.
we usually, do it for a year.
And then a lot of times in our contract, we actually will have the ability, if we like them, to do a second year. I would have to read the bid, but
Okay.
you can just
I
do
guess
it
it's
for
for
a
a
year
year.
if you want, yeah.
Somebody want to bring a motion to the
So
floor?
I'll move that we approve Quality Facility Solutions.
Can you get a second?
Second.
All in
And
favor?
let me just be
Oh.
clear for you. The contract will be for 12 months with 2 one-year option renewals. So that means we
Okay.
would have to come back to the board, ask the people, is everybody happy? And then you can, without doing another vote, you can extend for
Okay.
2 more 1 year.
Okay.
Do you need a vote?
Motion?
Yeah, we
Well,
need a vote.
so I made a motion, and Maureen
seconded.
seconded, so we
Yep.
just need to vote.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Motion, so approved. And, the other, for the snow bids and stuff, can you get that to the board? Because I know there's a lot of stuff that goes through that we don't even know that people are, shopping around on. But we're responsible for the finances for the Edison community. All right? Now, the non-librarian union negotiation?
Yes, there was a negotiation that was
Cancel.
planned, and it was canceled, but I wasn't notified until the day of. I heard it was canceled through the attorney a week before. I don't know why it was canceled. You don't have to have 2 board members there, and Lisa wasn't able to make that time. Joyce and I both know that, one time she
Sometime I didn't make it, sometimes she
One
did.
time I didn't make it. As long as the board is represented, that is what's important, so, we'll have to reschedule.
Yes, okay. Possibly that, with that too, you'll have to have a new attorney at that time, so it'll probably slow up things.
That's okay, everything.
You have to have,
We'll take
you have to
care
have
of
an
it.
attorney to do,
Yes.
to go through that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, any announcements? Okay, so now we have the time for public comment.
Jane Jian, Hamlin Gardening. So the work words were
Speak
done.
into the microphone,
Oh,
we can't hear
oh,
you.
it's here. Okay, I'll twist it. All right.
That's fine.
That's fine. It's cool. All right, so the following words I want to say is still like when I was a director, but rest of them I will say from just a resident. I just ask you for a reason to terminate my job. Of course, you don't need to answer, but for me, I want to ask for a reason. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to work at the EPL, and I respect your solution, but I still ask you for a reason. During these 17 months, I learned a lot from all of you. My horizon has been broadened and so many things, good or bad, really. I have no regrets. I believe what I've done are all for making a better library. I have tried my best to improve our library from internal management, development, and programs, technology upgrades, building and ground repairs and renovation, outreach communities, fundraising, and so on. Everyone can see clearly this decision is totally for someone's political ambition. Frankly speaking, I don't mind what you did to me, but I feel sorry for the library. It's a shame. Library should be a peaceful and civilized land, and it is supposed to be a beautiful landscape of a town. Unfortunately, now it becomes a battlefield for political gains used by some politicians who do not care of the library at all. I thank my staffs from the bottom of my heart. Even though during these hard times, I believe the majority of my staffs are working hard to provide best services with their professional skill set to our community. They really respect their job. Without them, I can achieve nothing. They have undertaken more hard times than I do. Their strengths encouraged me. Last words. No more political games in the library. That would be fine if I'm the sacrifice today, but people can realize the truth. No one is greater than God. No one can play the role of God. I believe justice does exist. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next. Yes, Mr. DeMora. State your name.
Anthony Diamond, 15 Rodak Circle. I want to commend the remaining board members. I believe you guys did the right thing today. I think it's embarrassing what happened over here with the board members that left. This is a step in the right direction, I believe. I've been calling for this myself for the termination of the director. You need library people in the library. And I think, again, this was a step in the right direction. So kudos to you guys. Hopefully she's replaced with somebody competent and with leadership abilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Chen, 23 Norton Street. I've been a resident for 14 years. So it's shocking what I see today. I mean, there was no private meeting, discussion. This type of personnel termination should be brought in the resolution rate. You just want to fire somebody and go ahead and fire somebody. There's no reason, there's no, like a debate. I think you guys are playing like a king. It's a monarchy. It's a disgrace. There's no Edison, should not be how the Edison is being run. During the short time, Jin Jiang has been running as a director for the library. She made numerous improvements. I mean, there's things that probably you will disagree, but this whole process, I mean, it just kind of like decided to push it through. I'm really disgusted. You should be shameful of yourself. Bye.
Thank you. Yes.
I come in peace. Could I get my glasses?
Yes, yes.
Thanks so much.
This is quietly our board
Sure. 12 East Pine Street. So in light of what happened here tonight, I see 2020 is going to be a totally different year for the library, and I'm hoping it's going to be a very positive year and a lot of good changes. And I took it upon myself, just because in the past, watching some of the meetings, I think you were the one who made comments to the president about, you know, we need to get some input from the citizens. I think you were the one that said that, one of you said that. And, you know, I really never kind of saw that happening. I don't know what the reason was, if it was being stopped by somebody, whatever it was. But I just decided to take it upon myself and via Facebook and talking to some people, just to kind of question and ask, what are you guys looking for in the library? What are the citizens, because it's our library, what are we looking for, you know, our board, the employees to do for us? And I got a list of 12 things that I just want to quickly kind of go through, just to give you guys some ideas of what, you know, some are, you know, what they're seeing need to be improved, some are just brand new ideas, and I can actually email you guys this at some point.
That would be helpful. That would be very helpful.
So one of the things was for the kids, STEAM-related events. I'm not sure if you don't know what that is. It's science, technology, engineering.
Yeah, I do.
arts.
They
Just
do a lot
for
of
the
that already.
audience. Just for the
They
audience.
absolutely do that all,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just,
Okay.
some people might not know. You
No,
do
because most of
this.
the people here are reading specialists and
Okay, I'm
librarians.
just for the audience too, but just, you guys might do some of this stuff already.
Okay.
But this is just what the citizens might not know you guys do, so
Yes,
maybe even
thank
better
you.
communication might be good with that also. Another thing was having the financials, the budget somewhere on the website, so citizens can see, you know, even a top level of how money is being spent, where it's being spent. Because to me, if you show that to the citizens, you're gonna
Yes.
get support. You're gonna get more support for the library, there's gonna be a lot of positive, you might have more people coming to your meetings because, you know, people wanna get involved. Another thing is to look out for, and again, I'm sure the employees do, but somebody brought up that there seems to be some torn books and just, you know, keeping more updated view of the books in the library. There's some that are old, stale, they look, you know, their kids are taking them or looking to read them and they're just not in good order. And then one of the other ones was the website itself. I don't know who does the website, how long it's been, but the website needs to be updated. I actually myself, after I read that, went and looked
I
at
always
other
tell people that.
towns, and
I agree.
there's just, you know, it takes time. I'm familiar with websites and building them, so I know it takes time to do that. But with, you know, the size of our town and the money, the budget that we have, we should be able to have a premier website that really will communicate what the library is doing. And a lot, you know, with technology, you know, just put that into a website that really can show that our library really cares about everything in the town and the kids and a good communication. This was another interesting one is, and again, I'm not sure if you do have this yet, but this person was looking for tech classes for adults and just even more classes for adults. Not, you know, library, yes, is mostly geared
I
towards
agree,
the kids.
I agree.
And, you know, to have adult interact, I would go to some kind of classes if you would have that also at the library. This was another interesting one. This mother was actually saying in the kids area, and I don't know how possible this is, but it would be nice to have kind of nice bigger furniture or chairs so they can kind of sit with their kids, almost like it's at home, and you know, have furniture that's more, you know, more like a home setting that they could use for their kids. It just would make it easier to read with their kids and would just be more comfortable with them. Spaces, looking for more open spaces and also more common areas. Just logistically, just maybe we can look at, you know, you guys can look at the libraries and just see, is there rooms for study groups? Is there rooms for just people to be able to meet? Is there people, you know, rooms for them to be able to study? Just stuff like that, just, you know, an organized place that they can just, you know, come to the library and do, you know, do certain things, study, read books, research. And this has been discussed many times, the bookmobile. I know it's a big issue with people. I know you guys have talked about it many times. I know it's very important to a lot of people. And I just hope in 2020, that's something that, you know, you guys can really, really work on, and really maybe get that, you know, get that moving. And then just the last one, and, you know, somebody else did answer this, but somebody said they wanted to go donate books at the library. And the library person said, sorry, we don't take those type of books, we don't, you know, which is fine. I mean, I know some books you don't take, but the person was kind of like, okay, so what do I do with these? My only other option is to throw them out now, which
Well, actually,
really.
the library takes books, and then if they're not going to use them, they do recycle them and make money from them.
Okay, well, this person was told by, I don't know which library, I don't know by who, but this person was told by somebody at the library, sorry, we can't take any of these. They were like college educational books, and he said he just felt bad that he had to.
I know, I hate
somewhere
throwing out a book
else.
too.
But I'm just saying, so I'm just saying.
Excuse me, but you know what? I had an opportunity, because I have like reading specials, I got like tons of books. Lupus and another group, I forgot where children are housed at, I'll get the other name of the other group. They do take books from you because they like them for those different homes and stuff that the kids are in, and those books that
So
they can read.
I just think it would be good
Yes.
maybe to make sure that the employees do know some information of where people can donate the book. So when this person does ask, you know, even if there's an information sheet at the library, which is something that says, well, you know what, contact these organizations.
Yes.
Because we
Yes.
don't want to see books thrown out because there's no place to
Yeah.
put them. And they
Yeah.
could be used in some capacity. So that's basically, after the meeting, I'll get whoever's email address.
And
and I
our
will-
our emails are actually on the
Are they on the
library
website?
website. If
Okay.
you go
I
on the
will-
website
I
under
will shoot an
library
email.
trustees, there's
Yeah,
emails
I'll shoot an
for
email
us.
to all of you guys with this list.
Okay,
Because like I
thank
said,
you.
I think it'll be really helpful just to give you an insight of what some of the citizens are looking for in the library.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. I'm sorry, I couldn't see him. I think, was he before you?
Carol, you're fine, he'll go next.
Oh,
Yeah.
it sounded like you were pointing over there.
Yeah, because I couldn't see him. I'm sorry, I didn't see him behind the podium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carolyn Cullum, Head of Children's Services. First, wanted to thank him for the nice list of suggestions and everything, a lot to look forward to. Just to let him know, a lot of times when people come in with textbooks and stuff like that that are older, that's why the staff might turn them down, because we can't put them in the collection. And sometimes we do get overwhelmed with, but I want to get rid of them, let me leave them here, and it costs the library to have to get rid of all of them then and recycle them, and we're
I
sometimes.
thought we made money from them. Evan used to say we got money from
A
them.
certain amount of money, but sometimes we get so overwhelmed with how much they bring and
Correct.
everything.
It's
and,
just more work for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not that we don't want to take them in and recycle them, just at some point, sometimes we'll stop because there's too much here and we have to hold off for a while. But his suggestion of having a list of where else to go.
That's a good idea.
That's a
I
good
think
one.
was a great idea. We do offer tech classes, hopefully more when we have our reference librarians in place, but we've been doing computer classes for a while. And Sean, who's here, we've been in the process of redoing our website. That's one committee that Jane was working with her, and they have a committee to redesign, so they're halfway through that. Just to let you know, I had some more senior parents who came to me with their grandchildren and are saying, what's happening with the bookmobile? Why don't we have the bookmobile? And I said, I can't tell you because there was no report again.
No, we're seriously working on, we're serious about
I know.
getting a bookmobile. We
He
are.
didn't let me finish. I said, I don't know, there was no report at this last meeting. They're still working on it, but the only thing I can tell you too is go to the board meetings or the mayor and give your information to them for what you want. But, you know, she was being upset with me as to what I was gonna do. I said, I don't control that, but they have a committee. So, I liked his idea of nicer furniture for the children's room, of course, and everything. They also have to remember, like Pat will testify, space is a premium. Having nice little furniture and big chairs where we can sit, you got have a place to put those chairs so that it looks good. But I'm all for that, if we can come through it. there were two more things. One thing, when you're working on the selection committee, I would recommend that you have librarians actually helping with the
Well,
selection
that's
committee.
what one of the concerns was. On any of these policies, it's most helpful
Yes.
to have input from the staff. I mean,
Right.
I know that we are charged with developing policies, but we have to have staff input, you know, because they're the ones who know how
Yeah.
things, and that's what happened with the meeting room policy. It could not be done unless we had input
Yes,
from the
so
staff.
I'm sure there's a lot of the librarians that would love to be.
Good.
Yes,
Good.
going forward, they'll make sure that there's at least someone from the library on each of the
Right,
committees to
sure.
have some, you know,
Appreciate
that
it.
way it'll be that much better.
Yeah, and there was one question about the budget, and I think I brought this up once before, no offense, but I know years ago, I think I've been through 4 directors now. They used to, at the meetings, when we came in, there was the monthly budget sitting right there on the table and the director's report, so the staff could follow along. What we're seeing out here is, okay, we're up to the budget and we watch you read it.
Okay,
And then you vote.
things should be
So
different
the public,
going forward.
yeah, the public has no idea what you just
We got
voted
a new
on.
year coming and
Okay.
new changes.
So that was very
We should all
helpful for
see
the public to
2020.
understand, and I thank you
Yeah.
for that
If I could-
consideration.
Do you mind if I say?
Yes.
Yes,
Right now.
I do want to say, it's been very, very frustrating. There has been a lack of communication, a lack of civility, protocol, and too much emphasis on politics instead of the good of the community and the library. So I agree with you, and I really hope going forward that we're able to improve things.
Thank you, yeah, because it would be helpful if we knew exactly what you were voting yes or no on.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
So, and I thank you, that was it.
All
I
right.
actually want to make a comment as well. The library board is appointed by the mayor. And this is not to criticize anyone that's not here or here, but this board has been entirely dysfunctional from a procedural standpoint for
2 years.
at least a year and a half that I have seen now. You're saying 2 years.
2 years.
I would
Yes.
ask the mayor or the administration, whomever representative is here, to vet the people prior to them serving on the boards, make sure that everyone knows that there are certain parliamentary procedures that you have to follow. Like, have them sit down. I've taken tours, I've gone through, I mean, just do it. This is not, we can't run a board like this,
No.
you know?
You know, and if I could go back, you may recall at past meetings that I really have been pushing that we need to have board training. I
Yes,
have
yes.
contacted NJLA.
Yes.
I have contacted the New Jersey Library Trustees Association. They are very willing to come, not at a regular board meeting, we would have to give up
Yes,
another
but-
night or a Saturday or whatever for board
Right.
training. But I do think that it's essential that that is done,
Mm-hmm.
because our board needs to know how we are supposed to operate.
And what the value of a trustee is.
Right, what our role is.
Exact-
And also, just to add one more thing, what the role of the library is in the community.
We're all right,
Just very
okay.
important.
Sir?
My name is Keith McCoy, 14 Second Street here in Edison. I came to a few meetings earlier this year when you were in the headlines for negative reasons, and I wasn't able to come to the last couple of board meetings, but my, oh my, 35 years of going to library board and library commission meetings, city council meetings, you name it, and this was undoubtedly the worst run meeting I've ever witnessed. The level of disrespect amongst the board members and to your staff was absolutely incredible and saddening as a taxpayer. If you've got issues with your director and your administrative staff, I hope you did an evaluation. It certainly wasn't mentioned in the resolution. And regarding that resolution, you could at least get the terminology right. There's no such thing as an executive director in New Jersey state law. It's just the library director. And, you know, there's no indication who's in charge now.
Excuse me, sir, we would have to go into closed session to decide, and then come back into the public section.
All right.
To
well,
decide who
you did-
was.
That didn't seem to bother you earlier on.
It did bother us, but we were waiting for the chance to give you an
And also,
opportunity.
the proper way to do it would have been either to move to suspend the agenda and move directly to your resolution, or to bring it up under new business, which doesn't seem to be on your agenda, but that's typically on a public meeting agenda. Having locked off the top of your staff, you've got board members walking out, I really think you need to bring in a consultant. You should talk with Leslie and Alan Berger. She's the former director of Princeton Public Library, former American Library Association president, or Pro Libre Associates with Jim Hecht and Ann Roman, because this organization needs help. And if it goes on much longer, you're going to have staff bailing out all over the place.
Thank you. Anybody else? Jam?
Shan Ming, Clara Barton branch head. Since a patron has asked about the website redesign, I want to give some updates about the website redesign project. So we started this project this summer. We sent out a survey and received about 1,500 responses. After that, we did 2 groups of focus group. One with adults patrons, the other one with YA, young adults. Based on their feedback, we came up our design with a committee of 3. And then we had a local company, a tech company, would like to volunteer 100 hours of their time to help us develop this website. So after this 100 hours, it will only cost us about $450 to finish this project. Currently, we're at the stage they have sent us the live demo about the homepage design. So we have reviewed it with Jen and the other committee members. So they will edit based on our feedback, and after that, they will start develop the new website. Our plan is...
I'm sorry, you don't have to hold the mic so close.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have a strong voice.
Sorry. So our plan is to make the new website alive in late February or March. This is the first thing. The second thing is I feel really surprised to hear this resolution today, because I feel the library is heading to a good direction. Because I spoke to a few board members already, Joyce and Lisa and Pat. I also spoke to Joshi. I'm sorry, Mr. Joshi. So I think everybody has told me we want the library to become a 21st century library, not only about the physical space, but also about our online appearance. That's why Jane has asked us to do the website redesign, and that's why we had the meeting with Joyce and Pat earlier to discuss about the renovations. Earlier, the patron made some comments about updating children's room, about more open space, about this, about that. I think most of the stuff we have already covered in this meeting. I'm very glad to hear that someone from the public will make the same comments, because before we had that meeting, Jane has sent out a survey to other staff members about how we should do a renovation about 3 buildings. So, I mean, well, I feel we're really heading to the right direction. Well, hopefully we're going to head to the same direction in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Hello, Kenneth Nelson, 9 Dobson Road. I just want to thank you guys for being here and continuing this session. The main reason I'm here tonight is, this is my first meeting, first of all. I heard about a mess that happened last meeting. I get 1 day off a week, I figured I'd come here tonight. I just want to applaud you guys for at least trying to introduce a resolution like this and trying to keep it civil. And that's really the main thing I have to say tonight. I think it's absolutely a disgrace that it has to come to this point, that there's this much arguing, that there's no real way to discuss these issues without having about half of the board walk out. So thank you guys for coming out and at least trying to introduce a resolution like this, even if some people may believe this isn't the right way of going about it. I think at least trying to represent our residents that are tired of the same spiel that's going on here and that are really tired of these things. You know, I go to the main branch library once a week. I walk past the TJ every day. So for me to sit here and see that at least you guys are trying to do something when half of the board isn't even willing to communicate or willing to go discuss or even bring it to a vote, it's kind of disappointing as a resident, you know. So thank you guys, and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to make one comment.
She make one comment, go
If you
ahead.
don't mind, based on what you said, Mr. McCoy, based on what you said. If we had been able to discuss this in closed session, if we had been able to discuss this privately, if we had been able to discuss this civilly, we would have. We have tried for many months. We have done everything we could do. And very unfortunately, because believe me, it did not give me pleasure to do this, it came to this. We were left, unfortunately, with no other choice. As you saw, we were stymied at every turn.
Yep.
And you're correct, it's a mess, and it is not appropriate, and it's not the way that business should ever be done.
Correct.
And I look forward to never, ever doing anything like this again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Bob Shah, and I attend Zero Core Edison. I'm late today for the meeting. I didn't hear any argument, any solution, but I only heard. Actually, first of all, thank you for coming for your effort. I heard there is accused about politics, play politics, not good communication, some unsolved issue. Can you give an example of those things? Like not good communication, or not, or play politics? I want to hear that. Thank you.
What are you looking for?
I heard people
Saying things like politics?
like current director of playing politics, only playing politics.
We didn't say that.
No, the director.
No, that's not-
The director
no.
accused us, and I can guarantee you, you're not going to find examples.
No, the director accused, the director accused these people of playing politics, but not one of these people are political, because that goes to what Mr. Joshi said last time about vetting resumes before you place people on boards, because the people you put on a board should actually have the library's best interests. There are some people have their own agenda. That's how it goes, and it makes it hard for other people who actually want a library. Like me, you come to my house, I got a mini library. I love books. You know, I'm really interested. Yes, not everybody doesn't love books. Everybody doesn't love books. You do, sir. But I'm gonna tell you, I've been an educator for years. Everybody doesn't love books, but people do have different agendas, and I can't say because I can't speak about other people, but I can speak about myself. I have no political agenda. I never even was a committee person in my life. I have no political agenda whatsoever. And the people who sit next to me, they're not they do not have any political agenda. You're talking librarians, you're talking people that. So
I hope so.
No, it's no hope. It's a reality that they don't have any political agenda. Me, myself, I don't even know how to be a politician. I don't. So I'm just telling you the honest truth. You know, people can twist stuff and make stuff to fit their own purpose. My whole,
Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But how I feel about it, I'm an honest and truthful person, but if I differ with another person, I don't walk out the door, because I would never want my students, me teaching high school and doing adjunct, I would never want my students to think it is okay to walk out on a lively debate, and I would not like them to interrupt other people while they're speaking. I would think that we set a poor example for young people who want to get involved on boards, who want to get involved in different areas of life, if we, the adults, cannot have decorum, if we cannot speak and take turns, if we cannot discuss. Now, sir, I might, like I said, I might win some, I might lose some. But if I lose something, I'm not a child. I don't take my toys and run home with them. All right? That's all I'm saying. That's why I expect, call me crazy, but I expect more from adults than I do from children. And I see us as the example. And I see this course, not just here, within this country, it's too left, right, whatever. No one wants to actually communicate. All right? And that's what hurts me, because no one wants to communicate. All right? Because I'm sure, sir, out of 75% of stuff that you might say, no, 100%, 75% we might agree on. But why should I run out the door for your other 25%? When you and I agree on 75%, let's celebrate that 75%.
Well,
All right.
Again, I just want to maintain decorum. You have a certain amount of time. I don't know how much
Yes.
time was used.
Yes,
I
let
suggest
him
for
go
everyone.
ahead and finish.
No, I know. For however amount of time you want to speak, I just advise if someone can keep track of time, I don't mind. I know we're short on people, I'll do it. I just want to make sure that there's a consistency.
Okay,
Yes.
because I'm late, I just.
Okay, no,
I
go
just
ahead,
want to-
finish,
Yeah,
sir,
thank
finish,
you.
sir.
Because thank you for your long education. Okay, come to the United States is actually democracy, respect. I know communication. Well, when people accusing other people, oh, you are not good communication. You have not good give approve. We are good on emails.
No one here ever said any of
talking
that.
about-
Okay.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not
Okay.
talking about here. But I heard that people saying that no good communication and play politics. With who? What happened? When it will happen, right? And anything wrong? It's messy. Messy can be anything. What's messy? What's wrong? That's all my question now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And thank you, sir. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
I'm going to go by council rules here, which is 6 minutes.
Yes.
If anyone interrupts, it's a pause. You know the drill. I know you do.
Yes, she does.
All right?
Yes.
Good evening, Esther Nemitz, 162B Bay Street. I must say, it must have taken a lot of hard work and courage for you to pull together tonight and do what you did. It has been a very difficult 2 years. 2 years ago, it started with a walkout. The very first opportunity that the new people coming onto the board had to make an impression, the impression they made was not good, they walked out. And unfortunately, we didn't have TV cameras present at the time for people to see it. They haven't changed their spots, unfortunately, and that's a shame. They also have not learned to work together with people to try to do the things that need to be done in a planned manner. The way things have been put through to expend the money that the board gets from the taxpayers has been done in a very unpleasant manner. It has not been done well. And I'm sorry to say that I hope that this is the end of doing things in that manner, and that we get back to proper planning with people who are going to be working together to do what we need in Edison, which is a library board for the people, and not for the people who think that they're going to spend $5 million the way they want it spent, and not for the people. It's not, they haven't had the right agenda. They haven't had a library agenda. They haven't had a public agenda that really serves everybody. And it has been very disconcerting and very disappointing. So I really have to say that I appreciate your courage and your willingness to take this on as a project for the future. We need to have new board members that are going to be working hard here to do for the people of Edison what they expect. And we've heard tonight some very good ideas from people that have come forward and had an opportunity finally to be able to say to you, there are some things we'd really like to see. And I'm happy to finally see some people coming forward and saying there are things that we want here in Edison from our libraries, so that you will now have a chance to work with the people in Edison who come to the libraries and make them work for the residents. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In the back.
Keaton, 81 Fairview Avenue. I just want to thank the ladies up here for standing their ground, conducting yourself with honor and dignity, regardless of politics, and doing the right thing for the people of Edison. Moving forward, as you replace some of these board seats, earlier in the year, I think Councilman Joshi proposed an ordinance where committee people couldn't be serving or appointed to boards. I think that's how we got in this mess. When we started appointing committee people to boards that they were not qualified for based on their political affiliation. Hopefully, Councilman Joshi, Councilwoman-elect Joyce Shipp Freeman, and maybe Maureen and the administration and the mayor can take a seriously look at that before we start appointing these board seats in the new year. They should be librarians. They should be educators. They shouldn't be political hacks that serve as Democratic committee people. They shouldn't be attorneys that donate to political campaigns. That's how we got into this problem. And I hope everybody, the elected officials and the administration, could take a very long, hard look at that and change the way we do business moving forward. Thank you very much for everything you guys did. I appreciate it. The town appreciates it. And we look forward to a new board in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Because I'm going to move that we go to closed session, take care of business. Anyone else? All right, I make a motion that we go to closed session. Oh, I can't make the motion.
I'll make a motion that we go into closed session.
And I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're back into open session. At this particular time, we are recommending Mr. Timor Davis for the acting director job, pending his acceptance, and we're also advising him to seek guidance to help him with the new transition. Okay, so it'll be an advisory person that help him with the new transition back and forth. Also, we need to get a proposal for a new law firm to represent the library and the board. All right?
We will do that in preparation for next month.
I think we should. Yeah, I would like to make a motion that we offer the position of acting director to Timor Davis, who is the current branch head at North Edison Library.
I second.
It's been seconded, so move. Roll call?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The five,
You're eating the microphone.
oh, I'm
compared to
sorry.
everybody else.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is the first, I forgot I got the big mouth, I forgot. All right, we have five, we have a quorum, we have 5 votes, so that solidifies that at this particular time. Any other motions, anybody want to set forth?
So one of the first functions of the applicant will be to secure the proposals, because January is right around the
Yes.
corner, okay?
Okay? All right, for the new law firm, all right? And also, we stressed earlier, I don't know if it's back and forth, that the information be submitted for the snow, because I heard this is gonna be a horrendous winter. All right, so I guess those would go to the new acting director pending his acceptance, all right? All right, anybody else have anything else to say? If not, all right.
Yeah, I do too. So the acting
Microphone,
director will
please.
go to the main.
You have to
I'm
come
sorry,
up,
I'm sorry.
yes.
Just so I know protocol. Oh, I'm Deborah Trubo. I am the reference supervisor.
Yes.
Just so I understand protocol. So Mr. Tamor Davis will come to the main branch as acting director?
I don't know if he wants to come to the main branch, I just know that that's the title he will have.
Okay.
He can probably stay at his own branch, it doesn't really matter.
We don't have a branch manager.
All right, okay.
I'm the closest to a branch manager.
Okay.
We don't have a branch manager.
All right, okay.
At Maine.
All right.
I'm just letting you know.
Thank
So-
you very
Okay.
much, thank you.
All right, thank
Yeah,
you.
we didn't think about that, it's good to have people to remind us of that, all right.
If he goes over to you, then we won't.
Mary Ellen Spitzmiller, would reach out and you.
We'll work that out.
Yes, we'll
why
work
we
that
also-
out.
We'll have a consultant, because that's his job to hire.
Okay.
Now, will you start taking applications to hire a new director? Is that how that will work?
We're not going that far yet. We're just going
Yeah,
as far as
most likely
acting.
next
We don't
month
want
or the
to.
new year after
Yes, we have to wait to the new year, and then we'll see what goes
Form
from
a
there.
committee and start the
from
search.
Yes.
Okay, good.
All right.
The consultant will be helping out Tamor, and they will work it out between the two of them, not the consultant, the advisor. You know, they'll work it out between the two of them, how everything will work, and they have all you wonderful librarians to help. Right?
All right.
And hopefully, the transition will be as smooth as we can possibly make it, but it is not our job to hire extra people. Once he's in position, then he can either hire or promote temporarily, or however, whatever way it shakes out. But we're hoping to not micromanage and not put our hands in pies where we shouldn't have them.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you'll appreciate that.
Yes.
And we're hoping that he will, have someone that's had real experience in that particular position, so that they could work together amicably. All right? All right, so, nothing else right now?
Motion to adjourn?
Yes, motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, adjourn. Thank you very much, everybody. All right. So who's gonna collect these little stickers now? Oh, I should keep mine as a souvenir, guys.
You should, yes, you should.
Good.
I thought they were gonna have cake and stuff for me tonight.